not very tight. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely disgusting. So this engine's either running really rich or those plugs are old. It's not igniting properly. Kind of about the same, isn't it? Black and sooty. Right, throttle bodies removal. I'm going to remove these. Okay, so I'll just remove this bolt here, which holds that on. So the cables are free. Then we're going to come down to this here. There's two of these, one here. There's one down there. And what you're going to do is unscrew that with a screwdriver, make sure it can spin round. Next thing, we're going to take our, let's see if we can do it with one hand. We're going to take our throttle cable. That's free. Right, so all you're going to do is operate that lever to put the slack on the cable and push it out. Next thing, 10mm spanner here. Crack that off. Whole thing should spin out. I think it's getting longer. Whole thing should spin out. Throttle cable put to one side. All right. This connector here, twist, and it should come away. That should be it now. Right, give these a little bit of a waggle and a wiggle and a pull, and they should come out. I'm going to dump them back in there. What we're going to do is give them a clean, all right? Because these are quite scabby and dirty. A closer look in there. Pretty dirty in there, them. Just like cleaning your carburetors, you've got to clean your throttle bodies as well. Right, air filters. So these are absolutely disgusting. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab most of that crap off them. I'm going to clean these out in here with petrol. Alright, if anybody says you shouldn't clean with petrol, I'll delete your comment because you should. I've been cleaning air filters for decades on dirt bikes, road bikes, you name it, and petrol is the best thing to clean these. Obviously when you've cleaned them, don't throw them straight back in the bike, let it evaporate off and let them dry out first before you fit them. Come off, you devil. There we go. Right, we're going to do this twice. So first I'm going to do is get all the rough of the shit off. I'm going to wash them again. So simply give them a rinse in there like that. That'll get all that shit off. Right, I'm going to dispose of that crap in there. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to let these dry. I'll blow them off then finally with the airline just to get anything what's left on the surface. And finally get these in there as well. That should be all done. Got a bird out there seriously rapping. He's having a good old chirp, he or she. Okay, done. It's like brand new, isn't it? Now that, get it nice good clean with some petrol and a paintbrush. So I found that this wiring, this sheathing here on the TPS sensor's all cracked and knackered. so that would need a new boot on that. I don't actually have anything. I usually have some big heat shrink I could put around that, but I don't have anything to cover that up with other than tape. I don't want to do that really. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect this with that stiff. I can get the pins out there just like we do with the other electrical components. You've got a slot there to pull the pins out. I would much rather keep this weatherproof. There's no point in having that on at all like that. I'm telling you now, you need to keep this nice and dry in there. So first of all, we'll ditch the knackered boot. We don't want that on. What we'll do, we'll come back to that later, because that must stay weatherproofed at all times. Alright, what I'm here to do now on this is these fuel lines. I'm going to replace these fuel lines. Problems with Ducatis and Aprilias and anything with the old bikes with injection systems, or carbs, to be honest with you, the old fuel can rot these, but they can rot either due to age and weather anyway, or the ethanol in the fuel can destroy them. So these fuel pipes here, you can just see the end, it looks like it's just breaking apart in there. Look, it's squelchy, and just when I pull that apart here, you might not see it on camera. See if I can focus again. It just looks like that's starting to crack in there. That's where you get your fuel leaks, especially bikes that's being stud. They'll all this slot can harden up over time and just start cracking once you move it. I've got some more hose here, some fuel resistant hose, external and internal. You can use this in tanks or outside. I got it from Alfred's actually, 7.6 mil fuel hose. And we've got some of these clips as well to put on there. Right, I'm going to crimp these clips on. Okay, let's get this off. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm going to clean up the fuel cap as well, because that's all gross. It wants to clean up that. We'll just get some WD-40 or something, give it a little scrub. We don't want to be putting any acids on there, nothing like that. Just get it free. Fuel pump. The split down here in the fuel pump. Look, see that there? Split in the fuel pump line. These can also go faulty. This is fuel filter was last changed. Looks like it's got 2005 on there. It doesn't necessarily mean it was changed in 2005. This fuel filter was manufactured in 2005, so it could have been sat on a shelf for a long time. You never know. It could have been done the year before, so the year after, sorry. So we never know about that. But we'll probably put a note somewhere. I like to scribble on things, not inside, but scribble on things, see when stuff's been changed. These pipes all crack as well sometimes, especially on the Aprilias. The plastic, and they do rot, but because of the curve inside it, and if these go dry, they can crack. That looks like it's in really good shape, to be honest. It's nice and rubbery and supple. Obviously, it's not it's not a 90s bike. This, we're going to get this fuel pump apart, new filter, new hoses on there. I'm going to also get the bag filter cleaned under here. We'll crack on with that.
Make a small incision.
Alright, so just remember which hose goes where as well. Okay, so you got your return on this one. This one here goes to this throttle body. The other one goes to the TPS side, alright. Wait, so I've got my collars, I've transferred my collars over, I've got the return one on there. The return is the shortest one and the main is the longest one. I measure these out so they're exact, a little bit more I've added onto it. I've got my crimp collar on there. I've got these tube stretchers. What I'm going to do, because I don't want to really put this in boiling water or heat gun or anything like that, I'm just going to give it a quick stretch like this. It will work, just expand it. Expand this tube a little bit, it will shrink down. Just so I can get it on. You've got to be careful, especially with metal ones. If you force these hoses on, you can end up cutting the rubber inside and splitting it and getting bits of rubber inside your fuel lines. Give it a stretch, and then I'm going to simply get some brake cleaner. Get in there, come on, come on, come on. That's one done. Go off camera 2 minutes while I get some force into this. So, fucking hell's a loud car. Right, so I don't have anything. I don't have a rubber boot to go over that, so I may just come back to that later on. Need to cover it up, so what I do have is this self-amalgamation tape, which will do a fine job. This will seal that wire. Alright, that's good enough for me. That's amalgamation tape sealed onto itself, so we used to use that for connectors in the Air Force. We did, so if it's good enough for the RAF, it's good enough for Ducati, isn't it? Right, really this should go over this fuel hose as well. It was actually under it, so that looks like it can stress it out. If that's tucked under the fuel hose, it's probably better over the top. I'm going to get a little bit of electrical grease in there and we'll seal that up, and this can go back on then. It's done. Okay, so I've also got new O-rings for these trumpet bell mouths as well. Let's see what we've got in here. So I'll give this one a tease off. We're a little bit dirty in there, aren't we? Not very clean at all, is it that? Right, so all my components are now lovely and clean. Look at that. Beautiful, eh? Lovely and clean. We'll get this bang back together. Lovely, that works a lot better, nice and clean, nice and smooth. Proper job. Spot on. I've loosened all these screws off. All these Jubilee clips. Apart from that one. I'm going to disconnect my fuel pump sender wire. Oh yes, sticky bar steward. There we go. Disconnect that. These are no doubt going to be really sticky. They're going to put a fight. Two off. Right, that's a fuel filter. So what I need to do is get a little Allen key in there, undo this, and this assembly will come out. Got it. That proper right fire, that one. Oh, that's full of crap in there. Nasty. Get the light on. There's a lot of loose crap in there. Look at that. Oh, it's like powder. Oh. This should be clean in there. Also should be clean in there because it's got two filters. All right. I want to keep that out at dirt. I'm just going to give it a wipe over. There's nothing in there. It looks out of the ordinary. Can you see in there? There's a slight crack in that resin. There, you can see that crack, look. So the resin, the fuel pump, I don't know if it works okay or what really. We'll see. It can be replaced. Not a problem. But to replace it, I'll probably recommend getting one of those metal nuts that goes on the outer side because it could crack and then we're buggered, aren't we? We'll clean it up anyway. Getting this rust off it. Right, I'll clean that up, we're back in a bit. Just running a thin screwdriver through these overflow vent ports. Which these can have, which they have got actually, a little bit of crap inside them. If these get blocked, then you're obviously not going to have any water leak out, and you're not going to have any vents for your tank. I've got all that crap out of there as well. All this frosty crap off these pipe things as well. So, right, we'll get our filter in and put it all back together. BMW, eh? So best way to do is just stick it on, twist it, and just push the rubber sealing gradually as you go around it. It should be on. Right. Get him in there. Right, I'll get my pipe now. Right then, so I've got my old hoses there, which can go measure them all up. I've got my submersible E10 compliant fuel hose. So make sure you get a submersible hose. This actually, I mean, it looks okay, but it feels hard and brittle, does that? Whereas this is nice and flexible. It might look alright. It feels okay there, but on the end it just feels like it's a little bit brittle, and there it feels really gummy. That feels hard, like it's going to crack away. This one obviously, well, it was split there, but it's not gone all the way through, I don't think. But inside there's all sorts of crap in there, quite dirty. Anyway, they're going in the bin. Right, let's get him in. Nice and tight there. Yeah. Okie dokie, magnificent. Got my new spark plugs and I'm building the bike back up now, so hopefully might get fired up today. So I've got the airbox on, I've plugged in all the wires. I'm just going to put this other bell mouth on now. I'll put some grease around there just to ease it on. I've tried my best to get all the wiring, as much of the wiring as I can, and run it in the coolest spot possible, rather than running wiring through here between the cylinders where it's going to get red hot in there. So I've even put the ignition wiring just on the outside here. I've not run it straight through the back through there. I want to keep it away from the engine as much as possible, really, so keep things cool. Right, so I'll get the other bell mouth on and we'll continue. Tank's on full of fuel, just check for leaks. I'm going to cycle the fuel pump. As soon as I put the ignition on, I'm just going to lift the tank and flick that switch and check, see if any fuel leaks come out of the pipes I've fitted, and we'll give them a fire up. Cycle it a few times just to make sure there's no air in the system, bleed the air out of fuel pump. Bit of air there, look. Heard that. Right then, I'm happy with that. There's something rattling at the back there when I give it some throttle, but we've not tightened everything up yet, so we'll check that out in a bit. But apart from that, I'm quite happy with it, to be honest with you. It's fired up nice, there's no fuel leaks, no oil leaks, nothing. And when you give it some little bit of throttle, it settles back down to its idle point, doesn't dip down under, nothing like that. So it sounds pretty good, pretty decent. So I think we'll call it a day. Oh, I did find a problem with these side stands. So I've had to make quickly a side stand switch bypass. All I've done is basically got one of these super seal connectors and bypass a side stand switch so it won't cut the engine out. I don't know what's wrong with it, we'll investigate it later, but I've wired the side stand back up. When you put it down, it cuts the fuel pump, everything like that. So the funniest thing is this is a 3-wire plug and it's a 2-wire on there. So something missing, whether that's the wrong side stand plug or something like that, maybe, I don't know. It's possible there's something wrong with not wrong, but someone's not disconnected some alarm wiring in the past, maybe, we don't know. We'll investigate that, have a look at it, see if we can get it working. If not, it's no dramas. Anyway, I'll call it a day and we'll get the fluids changed next, brake fluids, clutch. See if that clutch is working okay, see if it's dragging or slipping. We'll not really know until we ride it. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you found this useful and helpful. See you next time. All right.